said that if I don't give a tip, I'm not welcome here anymore.
We only make like $2 an hour. We work depends on tips.
But you can't force anybody to give a tip.
Well, then I cannot. I'm not going to service you because why am I here to bring you food?
That should be your manager. I mean,
No,
you
all
work.
restaurants, we work for
You.
tips.
I mean, but that's your manager.
So I just come
No,
back.
don't come back here anymore. Do not come back here, okay?
I'm glad that you said that. This is Grand Bistro.
Yeah, you're so pretty and you fucking eat and you don't tip. That's horrible.
I mean, you can't force me to tip. You are choosing to work for $2 an hour.
Serve you.
I'm not forcing you to serve. I'm not forcing you to serve me.
You go some
I'm not forcing you to serve me. You're choosing to work here for $2 an hour. That has nothing to do with me.
With anybody else besides you guys. I mean, not to
That doesn't have anything to do with me.
Okay, please.
We don't want you to-
Go somewhere else.
And great. And
Yeah, please, yeah,
you are being put on TikTok
Yes,
so
go
that
ahead,
you can know.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
I don't have to worry about it.
Go.
Thank you. Why in the fuck? I'm signing the check. The fucking manager comes up to me and he's like, are you gonna tip? Excuse me? First of all, rude as hell. Second of all, he was like, well, was the service and the food good? I was like, yeah, it was fine. Like, and he's like, well, if the service
lady that went to a restaurant and ate, right? And I think after she ate, she didn't leave a tip. So then the waitress came up to her and said, you didn't leave a tip. And then the waitress started explaining to her, like, they don't pay me enough. They pay me $2 an hour, and the tips are like my wages. And you're supposed to leave a tip. I served you. I brought you food. I brought you, like, I gave you all the services that you need, and you're supposed to leave me a tip. And then the lady was like, I'm not obligated to leave you a tip. Tips are optional. I decide on my own terms if I want to give you a tip or not. So you have no right questioning me about any tip. And you chose to work here to get $22 an hour to work here. So if you don't like the pay that you are getting, get a different job, because the tips are not my problems. Like, they're supposed to pay you enough to cover, to cover your wages and stuff like that. So I don't know.
and you don't tip, then you can't ever come back here. Excuse the fuck out of me. Now I'm not giving you shit, because who the fuck are you to come up to me and tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing? The fuck? I don't have to do shit. And they were like, well, you can get out. You're forcing me to feed you. You're forcing me to bring you food, and you don't want to tip me. I'm not forcing you to do shit. You choose to work here. If you have a problem getting paid $2 a fucking hour, you need to go find you another motherfucking job. The fuck are you harassing customers for tips? And you're too pretty to not tip. I don't give a fuck. I don't owe you shit. And then what pissed me off is when the manager approached me, he didn't approach me respectfully. He approached me rude as hell. He approached me with an attitude. And to me, if you know that you're paying your workers $2 an hour, there should be gratuity, or there should be a mandatory tip. And then both of those signs should be posted so that when people come in, they know that there's a mandatory tip. Not walk up to people and be harassing them for tips. And bitch, I don't want to come back here again. I don't have to worry about coming back here again. But the fact that you feel entitled to what's in my pockets is crazy. I don't have to give you shit. I don't owe you shit. And it's crazy to me that instead of you being mad at the motherfucker that you're working for, you're going to be mad at me as the customer. And what makes it so bad is when a lady hopped her ass out of bed this morning, she knew that she was going to be working for $2 an hour. And had the manager came up to me respectfully, I would have gave a tip. But what you're not finna do is think that you finna bully me. Fuck you in this restaurant.
This whole thing it's kind of like tricky, because I feel, to me, whenever I go to a restaurant, I leave a tip because I know they don't pay them enough. But then again, they're not obligated. You know what I'm saying? Like, tips is not forced. Like, it's not by force. Like, you have to give your tip. Don't get me wrong. It's the right thing to do, is to give tip. Like, to tip your server. Like, that's the right thing to do, because they don't pay them enough. So tip your server. It's nice. You don't have to give them enough, but even $2 or $3, depending on your check though. As a server, if someone don't tip you or they not tip you, you have no right working up to them to confront them. Like, why didn't they tip you? Because you served them. Like, you don't also know what that person is going through. They might not have that much money. They have just enough to eat. and they don't have enough to leave you a tip. You should understand it as well. But then again, I don't know. So she was just, I'm just playing the video, but it's just kind of like two ways. When I went through her comments, people are saying, if you don't have money to tip, stay at home. If you don't have money to tip, do to go and stuff like that. Why did she have to do that? I Let's be real. Why did she have? I feel like tipping culture have been so demanding. Like it has been so to the point where some restaurants actually go as far as putting their gratuity on your included in your receipt, and then also looking for you to tip them. I don't know. I always tip. That doesn't matter what I always tip. I will always tip because I know for a fact they don't pay them. They don't pay them enough, and stuff like that. But then again, as a server, like you are not supposed to run up to the customer and ask them like, why didn't you tip me? Don't come back. They even went as far as telling her not to come back next time if she's not going to tip. If she doesn't tip, she shouldn't come back to this restaurant to eat. How rude. Like how rude. Like how I don't know, like how entitled. I feel like that's such an entitlement. I don't care what you say. I feel like that's entitlement. Well, okay, so she didn't tip. Okay, that's wrong too. But you can't tell her not to come and eat because she didn't tip. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know how much she have in her pocket. That she's not obligated to tip you. That's if she tip, that's nice, but she's not obligated to tip you. I feel like this whole thing about restaurant and the service industry have to change. Like they have to make their wages enough for them to like not live off from tips because people like I come in, like people come in to eat to relax and stuff like that, and it's nice to tip, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like the lady that didn't leave the tip is not wrong, and the lady that run up to the customer, um it's 50-50 for me because I feel like she should have never approached the customer. She should have never approached the customer because the customer is not obligated to tip you, like regardless of what you think. I didn't know this whole tipping option existed until like I came to this country. I think America is the only country that that the service industry expect the customer to pay for their services wages. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even when I went to Panama City, like Panama, the country Panama, no one was looking for you to tip. Europe, when you go to Europe, no one is looking for you to be tipping everywhere you go, tipping every restaurant you eat. Like that tipping culture is not a tipping culture. Like I feel like Americans have made it like it's part of their culture. Like you have to tip. Like you have. It's so annoying to me. Like it's so. Yeah, so I feel like Americans are the only ones that expect the customer or the persons that eat to pay for the wages of the servers, and I feel like I don't know, they made it part of their culture that it's so you have to become accustomed to it when you come to this country to like you're obligated to tip. But then again, you're not supposed to like walk up to someone if they didn't give you a tip to confront them. Like that's not also right. So I once you know like how much they do pay this service in the restaurants and the service industry, you want to tip as a you want to tip. That's I feel like that's the right thing to do, right? Just tip your server. Like just tip whoever serve you. Just tip them. Just give them a little something, just to say thank you. Actually, like it's really nice to like leave someone something to say thank you. But then again, if the person don't have enough to leave you a tip, don't it's okay too. The next person can give you more to cover that tip that the person did not give you. So I just kind of feel like it hurts. It hurts as a server to be getting paid $2 or $3 an hour to do so much, and then someone that you came to your establishment and ate, and then you like went out and did your best you can do for them, hoping like they will leave you a lot of something when they're leaving, and they didn't leave you anything. That's gonna hurt too. It's kind of hurtful, but then at the same time, you don't have to hold them accountable. Just that's just a pill that you have to swallow, and just hope and pray that by the time you get off work, you get enough tips or enough tips from like other people to cover up whoever doesn't tip you. So I just kind of feel like whatever somebody didn't do it for you, it come up from like someone else's. So just let me know if you're a server and you work in a restaurant or anywhere in the service industry, that require like a tip, and stuff like that. If someone eat or someone come to your establishment and like you offer them your services and they don't tip you, how do you feel about that? Like leave your comment about it. And do you think like people are obligated to tip when they go out to eat and stuff like that. Like, you think, like, I feel like it's a good thing to tip. It's nice to tip. It's like, especially if you know how much they're getting paid, it doesn't matter if they choose that job or not. It's the right thing to do is tip. Give the 20%. Even if you don't have 20%, 10% is fine. Just tip them how much you can afford. Just give it to them, but don't just eat and then leave. That's not right as well. But like, this country, the tipping culture is part of their culture. So you have to tip. So I just, but then again, if the person don't have the money, I feel like that lady, the server should have never worked up on that lady. And is it like, okay, so if you're a server, right, just write it in the comment section. Let me know. Is it right to ask someone not to come back to eat because they didn't leave a tip? I don't know. This whole thing is kind of tricky. It's 50-50 for me. I just feel like the customer is wrong, and I feel like the server is also wrong. So just leave a comment and let's talk about it. Like, if you let people breed about this whole tipping thing, if they have the money, they will tip. Next time they will tip you better because they didn't have the money this time around. Next time when they come in, they might give you a little bit more bigger tip, and stuff like that. So just leave me a comment. Let me know how you think, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching.